It's another edition of The Reset. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Come on, hit that button. On today's episode, we talk about the 2025 season that's underway. We got the schedule. Let's talk about it.
It's The Reset with G. Scott.
Y'all know who Mebane is. Super Bowl champion, 13-year vet, Seahawk legend. Bang, good to see you, my boy.
Good to see y'all. How y'all doing?
We good. Kat, welcome back. First, before we get the show started, Kat, you were out last week. Our condolences to you on the passing of your grandmother.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Real quick, before we get the show, tell us one amazing thing about your grandmother.
That woman, she battled cancer for almost 4 years. It was 3 years heavy. And no matter what diagnosis, wherever her health went, and even losing half of her body, control of her body, nothing mentally ever went and nothing swayed her faith. So, like, that's something for me. I get a cold. I'd be like, oh, no, if I can do it today. But nah, like, her steadfastness, her drive for her family was something I'll always have with me. So, yeah. And she always had her nails done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I told you 3. I'm sorry.
Right. You're in our prayers. And
Thank
I want to
you.
give a big shout out to your mama. I want to let you know you are in my prayers as well. Appreciate you always. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. The 2025 schedule is out. I'm going to start.
You gonna start? Okay.
No, you start. You
All
start.
right.
No,
Okay,
you
Ben,
start.
I'm going to come in. I got to switch it up now. He's going to have me crying the mic, but now I'm going to switch it up. Bang, we got 2 ops, first 2 weeks back-to-back for this 2025 schedule. How you feeling about that?
Woo. Hey, anytime you start your season off with a divisional opponent, it's real deal Holyfield.
2.
I would look at it like this. Anytime everybody NFL schedule is tough. Don't nobody know like if anybody's gonna be good, because on paper you can be like, oh man, you know, they got some guys over there, but we don't know if they're gonna mesh. We don't know if they're gonna call the right plays for them to mesh. We don't know that. But I will say this. For the Seahawks, I would like them to establish a real nice, hard, firm run game. You know, whether you use your fullback or not, I would like them to get up on the center and run the ball. You know, I think if you start with the running the ball, you'll take less stress off your quarterback, where however much money you paying him, you want to showcase him. I believe that you really have to really showcase a great run game. That's what I'm gonna say about that. No matter who you play.
The Seahawks starting off game 1 with a divisional rival is the equivalent of going on a first date and asking her to marry you. What I mean by that is, what I mean by that is that sometimes you got to lead up to it. Sometimes you got to kind of court. All my grandmamas out there, y'all remember how you used to court the person.
Amen.
You want to court the season. And Bane, there's something about this that makes me uncomfortable. It is a divisional rival, and us fans, we get hyped, but so do you players. And I want to go down memory lane, and I need you to explain and tell us a story. The year is 2011. The Seahawks, their divisional rival is the first game. It is the San Francisco 49ers. In this particular game, KJ Wright cussed you out, cussed out Red Bryant, cussed out Chris Clemens. Can you explain what happened?
Oh my God! So first of all, 2011. Let's talk about the jerseys we was wearing, the uniforms we was wearing. This is before the Nike uniforms, right? We still in Reebok. We in the throwback jerseys now. Okay, so we got the Reeboks on. They real heavier. The Nike uniforms are a little thinner. You know, it's like okay, you know, but the Reeboks are USA. If you play in a cold environment, You'd be like, oh, okay, cool. We got a little cushion on this, right? So, the temperature is very hot. Not air wise, right? We are real hyped up. We got a monster we got to face over there, which is Frank Gore, right? We talking bad to Frank Gore. Frank Gore just looking at us, not paying us no mind. We trying to, get him out the game and
What you saying to him?
get him.
What you saying to him?
Oh man, we saying all kind of things.
No. This the reset. This the reset. People
man,
want to
come
know,
on,
what
G.
did you say?
Ah man, we pretty much told we gonna kick your ass. and we ready. And then they had about one or two offensive linemen on their side that they was talking, and so we in the huddle, and this is before the first play of the game. Pete said, man, we want y'all out on the field first, the defense on the field first, right? Mm-hmm. So we talking, we sizing them up. They know us, we know them, right? And we talking trash. Frank Gore just looking at us, shaking his head like, all right, yeah, I'm not worried about y'all. Okay, all right, right? And he not talking to us, but the offensive line is talking to us, okay. Right? So KJ has a mic in his ear, and we talking, blah, 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 blah. KJ looking at us. He's shaking his head at the sideline, like, And all of a sudden, KJ says, hey, man, why don't y'all shut the up? And we looked at KJ and was like, and all our mouth was like, KJ? Because, KJ, that was his rookie year, I believe.
Yeah.
And KJ, and KJ, we looked at KJ like, KJ, we didn't even know you know how to cuss. Because KJ, KJ was a good rookie, man. KJ, we were like, KJ, we need some food from upstairs. You know what I'm saying? KJ, Malcolm, Mike Morgan. And, they go upstairs and they get our food and everything and, make sure, our drinks is in our locker, after practice. Good dudes, man. Didn't talk back, And, yeah, all of a sudden, man, KJ, country dude, good dude, man, from Mississippi, well-mannered. And, all of a sudden, man, we seen another side of KJ. And we was like, oh. So KJ said what he said, and we was quiet. And we was like, we got your undivided attention, KJ. Like, okay, yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now, Bang, I can see you being quiet. I can even see Big Red saying, you know what, I'm going to let this go. But you mean to tell me Chris Clemens, and for y'all who didn't work with the Seahawks and watch the Seahawks back then, you might not remember Chris Clemens, but go ahead and look it up. That dude had 40 sacks in a matter of 4 years. But anyways, Clem didn't say nothing?
I mean, we all looked at him and we looked at each other and was like, oh, okay. Wow.
What did Frank Gore do to y'all? Because you told me, Bang, when I asked you who is the toughest running back that you've ever played against, you always tell me Frank Gore. So what did Frank Gore do to y'all?
Man, Frank Gore hit us for probably a 65-yarder.
That's why he ain't saying nothing. He said, all right.
Gore, man.
He said, catch up.
Think about Frank Gore. Frank Gore, it would be no gap there. But Frank Gore jumped through two dudes, and it'd be a gap in between my hands. Oof. Frank Gore jumped through that gap and just explosive play, and was like wow, he don't get height. Like, don't nothing excite Frank Gore. He don't slam the ball. He'd get up and be like, that's what I was supposed to do. Like, it's just normal. And yeah, he showed no emotion, and we just couldn't get in his head. Like, we couldn't talk to him, get him out of his game. It was just dang, bro, what we do?
I got a question. Who in your years of playing, who would talk more trash? Would it be offense or defense, or was it dependent on the team?
It'd be dependent on the team, but we was doing the most of the trash talking. We was,
Look. See, by the way, Kat, you made a good point about lately. Yeah. What fans been saying about me, Bang? Lately?
Hey, babe, the comments, the fans mad at you. You say something every week, and they like. So first of all, this is why I disagree with you wholeheartedly. 10 toes down, you're wrong, me, Bang. I'm like, dang, How you feel about that?
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good, man. But I got a story about Chris Clemens, right? Chris Clemens used to talk trash to us. So one time we on the sideline, Chris Clemens,
It's like friendly fire.
he got a game. He on fire, right? And we all sitting on the bench, and Chris Clemens got 2.5 sacks, pressures, tackles for loss. You know, he doing his little dance and folding his arms and stuff, right? Got his visor on. And we all sitting on the bench like, dang, bro, we ain't getting no action. Chris Clemens walks up to us and say, what's wrong with y'all? And we looked at him, was like, you know what's wrong with us? And so he said, oh, I know what this is. The camera was over there. And he told the cameraman, come here. And he said, look, this is what I want to do. And the cameraman put it on him. And he said, look here, this is our group. This is the name of our group. He said, I'm Chris Clemens, and these are the temptations.
Whoa.
He called for that.
Yeah.
He entertained.
Okay, wait, Bang. See, that's the thing. That's what people are having a hard time getting used to, because during your 13-year career, especially your time here in Seattle, you didn't talk much. But now people are finally getting to see, by the way, the side that I've been talking to you for years. So this is the Bang that I know. But I want to go back when he said that, did anybody get mad at that?
No, we looked at him was like, dang, he got us, bro. Like, and he had a camera over there. It's on camera somewhere. Somebody got it. And he just went along with that and just kept saying it like, I'm Chris Clemens, and these are the temptations. So he is a lead singer pretty much for people that don't know what that is, and we the backup singer.
All right. So you've seen the schedule. They open up against San Fran, September 7th, here at the crib, Lumen Field. By the way, that game going to be ooh-wee.
Yeah, that's
Bang.
be rocking.
They go on the road. They play against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Even though technically we don't know who the quarterback is, we can assume that it will be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
They come home to play against the Saints. And then it's Thursday night football, one of their 4 primetime games of the season down in Arizona. What are your thoughts on 2 division games in the first 4 games?
Get your mind right. I think it's going to I think for them, it's going to start in training camp, right? I wouldn't be surprised you see their starters playing probably a lot in preseason. Because, you know, it's only 3 preseason games. Depending on how many reps they get in practice, they probably going to get a lot of reps in practice. Either you get a lot of reps in practice or you get a lot of reps in preseason. I don't know how they're going to handle that. But you got to get your mind right, man, because those first 4 games I wouldn't say is the end-all, say-all, but it's heavy. It's real heavy, man. You know, 2 divisional games that early, that's pretty heavy, man. They throwing a lot of fastballs.
Now, Bane, first game of the season is the Niners. And here's something that I said, Kat. Now, whether you all agree with me or not, and this is what I was trying to say about sometimes, you know, going too fast on a first date. I don't like this game, and I really feel uncomfortable about the game being the first game of the season, being the Niners, because I feel like –
Well, at least it's at home, though.
Right. No, exactly. And it actually makes it that much more pressure that the Seahawks have to win that game.
Yeah.
The divisional game 1 at home. Now, Bane, when you're in your career, was there ever a time you looked at the schedule and said, hey, yo, we got to win that game?
We pretty much really focused on, it was times 2 with the division games, because when you play in those division games, man, it's like a playoff game. And, you know, the one thing you have to do, you have to take control of your division.
Yeah.
Because, you know, whether you a 1, 2, 3, 4 seed, whatever, you wanted to win your division. If you win your division, that's a start of becoming a champion. Because there's not too many teams in NFL history that didn't win a division and won the Super Bowl. You don't get that a lot.
True.
Usually, a lot of teams that win their division, they got a chance to win the Super Bowl or have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the flip side, how important is it for us fans to show up for this like divisional game home? Like, because last season was the first echo of like Bills Mafia coming in and taking control of the stadium. How important is it not only for the players to be in line, but for us to show up for y'all? Like, how does that affect the game?
Yeah.
Does it?
I say yes, on defense, it does affect the game, right? Let me tell you why. Because whenever you go into Lumen Field, I'm getting used to saying that, right?
Same.
When the fans get loud when we on defense, it actually shrinks the opponent's playbook when it comes to the communication part, right?
That's good, yeah.
So when it shrinks the communication, it's so much stuff that you throwing them off rhythm because now it's the communication on their part is limited. So when they have a limited communication part, it's only but so many things they can call, so many things they can do, so many audibles they can do. They didn't do a lot of audibles on us because it was so loud. The whole offense couldn't hear it. And if they do something out in the ordinary, right, we'll know, oh, that's an audible. Or we'll know, oh, that's a dummy play. So it's very important. Important.
Now, let me admit something to you guys. I have asked that question. As you all know what I do. You know I do a lot of stuff with the Seahawks. I've been on many rallies. I've interviewed players. Bane, I've talked to you. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I have asked that question about how important the fans are to the player. Do you guys know that this is the first time that I've ever gotten that answer? I had never heard it said where, and by the way, it makes total sense.
It does.
Bane,
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody answer and tell me that how it shrinks the playbook and how it makes it easier for you guys to know when, oh, that's an audible or, oh, that's a dummy play. I've been asking that question for over 10 years, and that's the first time I got this answer.
Right. Yeah, because, whenever an offense at their home, right, is usually, it's pretty quiet, right? So, when you go to Lumen Field, it's in an environment where it's very uncomfortable. First of all, you're not at home, and it's unusual loud. It's like a lot of guys say it's like SEC type football loud, right? Where in the NFL, my opinion, I think Seattle is the loudest. Some people say Kansas City is loud. I don't think Kansas City is loud. It can get loud, but it don't be loud when Kansas City on defense like it does when it's in Seattle. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's you throw the offense off balance, man. Especially if you get up on them, it's like, oh, it's night.
Hey, before I ask you a question about the bye week, I want to ask this though. I've been having a lot of people, and Kat has even mentioned it earlier, that are like, yo, Mebane didn't used to sound like this. The last couple episodes, couple episodes, Bane, you've been different. Like when you first came, you were one way, but these last 2 to 3 episodes, people are thinking like, hey, he wasn't this talkative before. What changed?
I think given my true heartfelt analysis on the Seahawks first round draft pick was something that I just felt like it could be, I could be right, I could be wrong, right? I just felt like it was just time for me to just give my true feelings on what I thought about the first round draft pick, because you typically never really see them change a position of a player, right, and go pick a player from a school that is not really like playing against high competition every week. So it was just like stuff I just did my little research, and that's like I said, I could be right, I could be wrong, right? But at the end of the day, I hope I am wrong, and I hope he have a successful career. But from just looking at it from, the All-Star game, what team he was playing on, the competition he was going against week in, week out, and even on his own team. That's just what I felt. Right.
Well, we ain't gonna rehash it because folks, boy, they still in their feelings about that. Kat, what you think about the bye week? Bye week is going to be week 8 in October, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? You good?
I feel good about it. I've read that like around week 10 is ideally when people want the bye week, so it's not too far off. It's right after, I hope, a really good game, because I did read that the Texans have like the highest winning record on Monday Night Football, going on like 30-13.
Yeah, but have you noticed a difference in that game? Watch this. I don't even know if you noticed it. And you fans at home, have you noticed? Check this out, Bang. That Monday night game, guess what time it starts West Coast time?
Oh.
7 o'clock.
That late?
That's actually pretty good, though.
Wait. West Coast time, it starts 7 p.m. Usually a Monday night game will start at like 5:15.
Yeah, that's super late for East Coast. Yeah, you're right.
Bang, tell us why you think that's good.
I think it's good because you don't be sleep, right? You don't really be like tired, right? So for example, when we used to go to St. Louis, right? So when we used to that's where the Rams used to play, right? For people that don't know, right?
Right.
We used to go there, and it was like they used to do something to the lights. It was like kind of dark in there. It was probably like the capacity of the stadium was, let's say, it was about 50,000 seats at the stadium. Where when we go there, it's like maybe 10,000 people there, right? We'll go in there, and on the West Coast, it'll be like literally like 9 o'clock, and we be playing at maybe about 10, where we actually kind of still sleep. And our bodies didn't really wake up until third quarter. So
Really?
the first and second quarter, we really will be still asleep. Anytime we played like a Sunday night game or a Monday night game in St. Louis, it was like, yes. We knew it was going to be a tough game, but we was like, yes.
Wait a minute. I don't have this stat in front of me.
Right.
Wait a minute. Do you all know Pete Carroll's record for prime time games was a very good win percentage?
Oh.
So, Bane, are you saying that that's some of the reasons as to why?
It's an advantage for the other team, and it's a disadvantage for the West Coast teams, those early games. So say like we play, say like the Giants would be like real good, right? And we play them in New York, right? So let's say they kick off at 12:15 to where it's at 9:15 on the West, right? We don't start practicing until like on the West, like at like let's say 1:30. So we're used to practicing at 1:30, right? To where when 1:30 on the West, they be at home, playing with their kids while we still practicing at the facility. So that time change is definitely tricky. And the teams that leave on Friday, I think that's a great advantage, right? It's a great advantage. And then I also learned this, right? I found out that it's better to not sleep on a plane, and it's because you think it's kind of like the high altitude. It kind of makes your brain like think better. It does something to your brain, like you can get a lot done on high altitude. You can write a book. If you want to write a book on an airplane.
Wait a minute. I'm blown away right now. Bang, I've been saying that for years. I've been telling people for years, my best ideas come on the plane. Decisions that I have made for my kids came on the plane. Ideas that I've had in the past came on the plane. Yo, I wonder if any doctors are listening right now, please tell us why.
Yeah. It has to do with some of the altitude of the air. It has something like that. Yeah, maybe I wonder. Is it a connection with the oxygen tank chamber and high altitude? Like I wonder, do those two connect?
But not sitting next to the lavatory though. You sitting at 32B, you know what I'm saying, 36D, and you next to the laboratory, and you see Lois come down the aisle, and you can tell Lois about to go blow that thing up.
You can always tell them the eyes.
You can be the eyes.
She's like, oh God, no.
Or
I had to have the aisle seat too.
hey, check this out. When you sitting in that aisle seat and you kind of like wide, like your dog is, and the steward is coming, just knock your shoulder out of place. I'm like, oh my God, like, please.
Reaching over you for the snacks, like, all right, I could have passed it.
Man, I'm like, sometimes you don't see them coming. Sometimes they just, boom, just like.
Hey, Bang, you played 13 years?
Yes, sir.
Me and Kat want to know. You can only give us one story. When I ask you about a plane ride story from your playing days, tell us about the first one that comes to mind. No, give us the first one right now.
Oh my God, come on, G, man.
Don't retell the plot of Soul Plane. We can tell.
Just tell us the first story that come to mind. If you got to leave names out, that's cool.
I got one. So we sitting in the back of the plane, right? I mean, it's not like a funny thing, because I think that was a true story. But okay, so remember that movie when Denzel was the pilot, and he turned the plane over upside down?
Yeah.
So we was going somewhere where the turbulence was vicious, and me and Big Red and Kenny Norton was sitting in the back, and Chris Clemens and Michael Bennett was back there with us. And so I don't know if it was Mike Bennett or Red that yelled out and said, "Oh my God, who flying this plane, Denzel?" And so Kenny Norton was like,
off limits. Off limits.
Because I'm telling you, we was going, and then we dipped, and it was just like whoop whoop. Because we usually be like walking around, and we don't put our seatbelts on and stuff like that when we have our plane, and like our knees be in the seat. Sometimes dudes be just standing in the seat, when we take off, and it's not like
there's a school bus in the sky.
That movie, that Denzel movie was Flight, by the way. And Denzel acted. I mean, Denzel always act, but he killed that one. Hey, babe, we gotta go. That's it.
Get it.
Now real quick. KJ gonna see this. He gonna see what you had to say. Is there anything that you personally would like to say to KJ after you told this story about him?
Man, hey KJ, man, we apologize for talking over you, man. We couldn't hear the plays, and KJ was his rookie year. So KJ was like, I was his probably first primetime game, and he probably was nervous. We was hyped up, a little nervous. It's normal. And KJ told us, man. He said, y'all gotta shut up, man. And we looked at KJ and was like, okay, because I think David Hawthorne was
Heater.
Was he still there?
Heater. Yeah, Heater was that. Wait. Yeah, he had to have been there.
Hawthorne last year was 10, maybe. I don't know. But KJ was our linebacker that played Sam, Mike, and Will. So, if somebody was hurt, KJ would fill in and be like, play Sam or play Mike or play Will. He played all of them and played all of them extremely well. And when he said that to us, we lined it up like we were soldiers, man. We was like, yes, sir, Mr. Wright.
Bang, we got to go. Thanks, Kat.
Thank you.
Always good. Bang, appreciate you, my boy.
Sir.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to my main man, Paul Holden, who holds it down. Paul is a big Rockies fan. His team got beat by 3 touchdowns last week, 21-0.
Yeah, what's happening over there?
Hey, and the coach got fired.
Fired.
That's for you, Paul.
Worse than the White Sox.
Hey, we gotta roll. We appreciate y'all. Just so you know, make sure you hit the subscribe button, share this one, because boy, Mebane has been on fire lately. Bang, thanks for the stories. We gotta go. Appreciate you rocking with us. Love you for that. And as always, be kind. Bang, you killed